Have you ever wondered why some people have rhesus-negative blood? Is it just a coincidence, a genetic error, or does it point to something special? Are they the chosen ones with this special blood? What's really behind it? But first, a warm welcome on my YouTube channel. And if you want to receive a weekly energetic update what's most important for you in the next week, please subscribe to my free newsletter. The link is below this video in the info box. People say that those with rhesus-negative blood have special abilities. But what does that mean? For example, they are said to have higher intuition or sensitivity or more direct spiritual connection. Could this mean that they have more power, maybe in occult rituals? There are also claims that rhesus-negative people have unusual eye colors, like green or hazel brown eyes. Interestingly, these eyes are also said to be more sensitive to light, indicating a stronger sensitivity to certain energies or environments. And what about their skin? It is suggested that rhesus-negative people are more sensitive to sunlight, which could make them more prone to certain light-induced skin conditions. Could this be another sign of an unusual origin? Maybe even a connection to the cold-blooded beings like the reptilians. Even more fascinating is the theory that they may have more vertebrae than the average person. What could this mean? Is it a sign of a different evolutionary path? It is also believed that these people possess special psychic abilities like clairvoyance and telepathy. Additionally, they are said to be more resistant to certain diseases, making them tougher and more resilient. What is the truth behind these ideas? And most importantly, where does this bloodline come from? Somehow it seems these rhesus-negative people are not fully compatible with rhesus-positive ones. And yes, that was intentional. But more on that later. Before we dive deeper, let's first clarify what rhesus-negative actually means. The rhesus factor is a protein on red blood cells that determines whether someone is rhesus positive or rhesus negative. Rhesus positive means if someone has a D antigen on their red blood cells, they are considered rhesus positive. About 85% of the world's population is rhesus positive. And what means rhesus negative? If this D antigen is missing on the red blood cells, the person is considered rhesus negative. Around 50% of the global population has this blood type. Was this percentage ever higher? I know there are speculations, but more on that shortly. Basically, the rhesus factor plays a crucial role not only in blood transfusions, but also if you are pregnant. If a rhesus-negative person receives rhesus-positive blood, their immune system can recognize the D antigen as foreign and trigger an immune response. And this can lead to serious complications. which in severe cases can be life-threatening. And during pregnancy, if a rhesus-negative woman is expecting a rhesus-positive baby, this is possible, her body can produce antibodies against the baby's D antigen. And this can lead to rhesus incompatibility, which can endanger the baby's life, especially in subsequent pregnancy, and if the mother's body has already been sensitized. To prevent this, the mother is given an anti-D injection, which prevents her body from producing these antibodies. It's important to understand that this injection cannot change the baby's blood type, as the rhesus factor is genetically determined and cannot be altered by any medical intervention. But just before things get really interesting, how is the rhesus factor inherited? Everyone inherits 2 genes, one from the mother and one from the father. And if both genes carry the negative trait, the person will be rhesus-negative. If one parent carries a rhesus-positive gene and the other a rhesus-negative gene, there is a 25% chance that the child will be rhesus-negative if the other parent also carries a recessive negative gene. If at least one of the genes carries the positive trait, then the child will be rhesus positive. By the way, in Europe there is a higher percentage of rhesus-negative people than in other parts of the world. But why is that? And what mysterious surrounds this bloodline? The Basque population, the proportion of people with rhesus-negative blood is about 30 to 35%. This is significantly higher than other populations where the average is around 15%. The Basques are unique people living in northern Spain and southwestern France, have been geographically isolated and have long fought for their independence. But why did the Basques isolate themselves so much and develop their own culture? The Basque language, Euskara, is not related to any other known language. It has no recognizable roots in the Indo-European languages of Europe. Interestingly, Euskara shows similarities with Semitic languages. Semitic languages belong to a language family that includes Hebrew and Arabic. And these similarities have sparkled speculations that the Basques may have come from a different, possibly Semitic source. And there are also speculative theories claiming that the Cherokee Indians in North America, who also have rhesus-negative bloodlines, speak a language that is structurally unique. Could there be connections? More on that in a moment. We also find more people with rhesus-negative blood than the average in Ireland, where the percentage is about 20 to 23%. And in Scotland, the percentage is also higher. Interestingly, there are also higher percentages of rhesus-negative blood among the Berbers in North Africa, in Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, as well as among some Bedouin tribes. But now let's take a step further. Where does rhesus-negative blood come from? And yes, it has to do with a crossbreeding with another race, one that didn't exactly share the same genes as we humans. But the widespread assumption that speaks of reptilian influences, genetic manipulations with reptilian genes, are not entirely accurate. And of course, you are free to believe whatever you choose, and I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm speaking as a medium, sharing the information I have received from a higher field of consciousness. And when I connect with this higher field of consciousness, I experience deep peace, and not the energy so strongly influenced by these dualistic ideas we hold here on earth, where we quickly judge everything and only see the worldview of good and evil. And so, for example, I know there is the idea out there that the British royal family belongs to the rhesus-negative bloodline, and that this is connected to the reptilian energies, the reptilians who has the power over the world and who are shapeshifters. And if you want to believe in that, that's fine, but that's not my truth. So everybody believes in what serves him best. But if you achieve a higher consciousness, you can understand that this does not work, what we are doing here on earth, judging things so much and rejecting energy and having fear. And this special bloodline, the rhesus-negative bloodline, has its origin in the Sirius star system. There in the depths of those water worlds of Sirius lived a group of beings who were cold-blooded, but not of reptilian roots. And these beings were guardians of ancient knowledge and masters of energy healing and energy work. And they were in contact with the people of Atlantis, not out of a desire to create a new era of peace, but to infuse certain bloodlines with their energy, to preserve their essence and continue their work here on earth. They brought deep spiritual practices and advanced techniques of energy healing work to the people of Atlantis. But Atlantis was a civilization full of ambition, and many began to use this knowledge for their own purposes and their own power games. The rituals that were originally intended to preserve the Syrian essence were misused by the Atlanteans for power plays and control. The people of Atlantis lost themselves in their greed for more, and this distortion of the original knowledge ultimately led to the catastrophical downfall and the destruction of Atlantis, and the withdrawal of those starseeds who were on Earth was inevitable. To protect their purity and their knowledge, they withdrew from Earth because they understand they have to leave Earth, that really humanity can start a new game, and that they can really start from point zero to develop their own consciousness, their own possibilities, and their own inner wisdom. That was really important. But not everything disappeared. With the fall of Atlantis, various groups that carried this special bloodline within them left the sinking city. One of these groups settled in the Basque region, country, and that still carries this special bloodline today. Another group, which also preserved the Syrian heritage, migrated more north, where they became the Druids, who in present day we find those roots in England and Scotland, and keep their secret rituals and preserve the rhesus-negative bloodline with their ranks. These people who carry the Syrian heritage within them are guardians of knowledge that is deeply rooted in their genes. But this knowledge can only be fully utilized today if one's energy vibrates high enough and thus activates it. And so many secrets of this bloodline remained hidden until now, but the time is now ripe for it to be activated more and more, and for us to understand our true connection to our star siblings and how we are all connected to each other and have far more in common than we might think. The Syrians and the Sasani say that the rhesus-negative blood type no longer plays such a significant role today, because your DNA, which is activating more and more, allows you to enter a higher state of consciousness. And the old ideas that something within you is suppressed or that having a positive rhesus factor means you are missing something are no longer true. Rhesus negative is just one aspect of extraterrestrial DNA. We humans carry so many more extraterrestrial genes within us from various star nations, not just the Syrians. We all have special blood, and the diversity among humans is a reflection of the different beings we are connected to. Every person is unique, and every one of us carries extraterrestrial genes. You live in a world that is constantly changing, a world that is moving towards unity and diversity at the same time. And you are part of a multicultural society that is exactly as it should be. Because we are moving into an area where outer characteristics are no longer what truly matters. Instead, it's about recognizing what connects you with others, what connects us all. It is time for you to give yourself permission to live your full potential. No one else can take that from you, and no one else can give it to you. Only you can. For within you lies a power that is waiting to be recognized and unlocked. The sacred rituals of the past, once reserved for a few, are now accessible to you through higher sacred magic. It is up to you whether to use this or not. But the more you understand and integrate the energetic laws into your life, the greater the impact you can make. Recognize that the true potential lies within you, that you are the creator of your own reality. The time of division is over. Now it is the time for unity. Walk together with others into a new age, where love, awareness, and unity are the driving forces. You carry the power within you to create what you desire. The magic of life is in your hands. The future belongs to you if you are ready to let your light shine, to unfold your full potential, and to live the magic of life in all its facets. So thank you so much for listening, and feel this in your energy. That's most important. Share what you think about this in the comments, and give this video a thumb up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I love you. Namaste.